Have you ever met the connector? Well, he ponders, he helps, he creates, he writes, he speaks. He basically connects people and brings them together. I speak about Paul Solano of PS and All Marketing Group. At psandallmarketinggroup.com, you will receive an assembled group of Paul's contacts and connections that cross into many sectors of life. Please contact Paul Solano at 617-240-4130 or psandallmarketinggroup@gmail.com if you are in the market for a wide array of services. Again, please contact the connector, Paul Solano, at 617-240-4130 or psandallmarketinggroup@gmail.com with any questions. And now, here's Paul Solano, the host of Paul Ponders.
Welcome to #Paul Ponders. I've really enjoyed bringing you fun, informative, intriguing, and pondering podcasts. Many thanks to #PodPro Entertainment. Today's collaborating sponsor, Scott Albertson of #Project142.org, Riverworks Credit Union, NMLS number 410564, and Remax Renaissance Realty of Reading. Thanks for listening, rating, reviewing, and subscribing. Let #Paul Ponders begin. Welcome to another episode of Paul Ponders, and on this podcast we have Mr. Joe DiSarcina, who was recently inducted into the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame, Massachusetts chapter. Joe, welcome to this episode of Paul Ponders.
Thank you very much, Paul. It's a pleasure to be here.
Joe, it's really great to have you on. I've met you off and on through the years. I remember seeing you play for the Augustine Athletics in Intercity Ball. I'm friendly with friend Dave Cayazzo, and I got to watch you play. You were a manager, you were a player. You did it all, it seemed, but you really just did a great job. And I know when everyone hears this podcast, the induction ceremony will have already taken place. But there were a lot of members of the Augustine's Athletics in attendance, and it was a real great tribute to you for what it was like for you to be a player manager. So tell us about those experiences with the Intercity League.
Well, those were very influential times in my life. As a player manager, your jobs are two separate and distinct. My job as a manager really culminated prior to the season, because as a manager, you acquire, you gather the players that you feel will bring you the best results on the field. And during those times in the Intercity League, my goal was to get a mixture of veteran players like Dave Cayazzo and myself, along with younger, fresh out of college players. So if you did that job prior to the season, then during the season, the big part of your job was to be a player.
Absolutely. And for our listeners in Paul Ponders land, there were hundreds upon hundreds of Intercity League players who just played in the league, and many of the players enjoyed professional careers like yourself. So if you want to tell us about your experience in the San Diego Padres organization, please.
Well, professional baseball was my ultimate goal from when I started in the city of Somerville in Little League, Babe Ruth League, Connie Mack League. Again, was to be the best I can, and everybody's goal as a young boy is either to be a professional baseball player. My grandson wants to be a professional NBA player. He's 9 years old, so everybody goes through those when you're young. And my goal all the time was, even though I played both baseball and basketball at the high level, my goal was really to play professional baseball. And I followed that through high school, through a scholarship to UMass, in 4 years of baseball at UMass. And I remember the day of the draft being with my friends, and when San Diego drafted me in the third round, I was so excited and happy and felt that I had finally reached the plateau where I wanted to be. And unfortunately, during my first year, I got ulcerative colitis and had to quit baseball. And I got almost 2 years out of it before I had to leave for the medical problem that I had. And it's unfortunate, but I understand now there are some major league players that are playing with that same illness. So it's amazing what happens after a number of years when they can maintain certain illnesses so you can still play. But that was my dream, and I felt that I got there, and I'm very happy about that.
Without a doubt. And you really did excel at that point in time. And then with the Augustine Athletics, you really excelled with winning many championships. How many championships? How many consecutive championships was it?
I think we won 7 or 8 out of 10 during that 10-year period. So again, we had many celebrations.
Absolutely, without a doubt. Now, what's this I hear? You are also a star on the basketball court?
Well, I played at in high school. We went to we didn't make it to the state finals, but we got pretty close. And again, my scholarship at UMass was half baseball and half basketball. So I was obligated to play both sports for 4 years, and I ended up being a starter all 4 years and captain both programs. And it was just the 4 years at UMass were just a tremendous experience for me.
That is tremendous. Well, a true testament to your wide range of talent and athleticism is that you are now officially in 5 halls of fame. You're in the UMass Amherst Hall of Fame for baseball and basketball. You're in the New England Basketball Hall of Fame. You're in the Intercity Semi-Professional Baseball Hall of Fame, and you're in the Somerville High School Hall of Fame for baseball and basketball, and of course for the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame. So congratulations on being in 5 halls of fame.
Thank you. This one, Paul, as I said, is very special because my father was born in Italy, and he was, from what I understand, a pretty good athlete over there. And this is something special that, I can accept through him also, being from a small seaport town in Italy.
That is tremendous. So off the hardwood floor, off the baseball diamond, you're in the classroom. You're an administrator. You have your MBA from Suffolk. You have impacted many, many lives in the form of education. Let our listeners in Paul Ponder's land know what you have accomplished in the world of education.
Well, I really didn't get out of college for education. My college degree at UMass was in finance, and I had intended on entering the business field after playing pro ball. And when I had to retire from professional baseball, it was a time in the country where jobs were really not available. And I went for numbers of interviews, and they just weren't hiring. So I started substituting. I started coaching. I got an opportunity for a full-time teaching job. And one thing led to another, and I was a teacher, an administrator, assistant principal, and I went the whole route: public school, private school, and it was very, very satisfying. It seems like almost every week or every month, I see somebody whose life I affected either in the classroom or on the athletic field or on the athletic court. And that's a real satisfying feeling when you feel you've touched somebody and had an impact on their life.
That is tremendous. I have this incredible feeling that a lot of people who watch the movie Mr. Holland's Opus think about you.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that I regret a little bit, other than the pro ball issue that I had, was um, I had an opportunity to play baseball in Italy, and I was ready to go, and I was teaching at the time, and my city would not give me a leave of absence to go. So if I had to go play, I would have had to resign my position. And at the time, getting ready to have a family, I didn't think it was the right thing to do. So I really wish I could have gone over to Italy and played a year or two.
Tremendous, tremendous. Well, so many lives were impacted and affected by your making the decision to stay in the States and stay in education. So I thank you for that. That is tremendous. Now, let's just talk about as we start to wind down the podcast. Uh, how has the sport of baseball changed over the past 15, 20 years from when you were playing?
Well, I noticed a change this summer. Actually, I'm in Howich on the Cape right now, and my grandson and granddaughter were down, and I also happen to coach my granddaughter in basketball on her travel team. She's 11,
How cool.
and her goal is to be a college player and a college coach. So she's got some dreams too. So we went over to the Howich Mariners. We're in a playoff game,
Hmm.
and unfortunately they lost. But at the end of the game, all the players were coming off the field and leaving, and my grandson was getting autographs, etc. And I noticed all these college players walking by. They were much bigger than when I played at Harwich in the summer. So I think one difference at the college level of baseball is the training and the expectations are a lot greater, and the players are much bigger specimens. I think stronger, taller. Um, not saying that they're better, but they were probably just better physical specimens than when I played in college.
That is really, really something. Uh, Now, I believe that if we just look back to the basics, what we started with the podcast and really many of the attributes that you were, in fact, um, selected for the induction for were hard work, teamwork, time management, discipline, perseverance, mental preparation, focus, and accountability. Of those disciplines, what do you think were the top three that made you the success that you were on the basketball court and on the diamond?
I think one was persistence. In baseball, especially, you fail 7 out of 10 times and you're a 300 hitter. And I tell this to my grandson all the time. You can't get bogged down by those 7 times that you don't succeed. You got to persevere, carry on, and do better the next time. So I think perseverance is one. Another one that was close to me was hard work. I always believe that if 2 players are equal or one is a little bit below the other, with hard work, the player that's a little bit below or the player that works the hardest is going to be on the positive end of the outcome. So I never let anybody outwork me either on the court, in practice, or on the field. And the third thing that I believed in was accountability. You're accountable for, and this is in the classroom as a teacher and even as an athlete. You're accountable to how you perform. I believed in, whenever I was on the field, that I would not let any player down, that they knew that they could count on me to be there for them. So those three, I think, are pretty high on my list.
And they certainly are. And Joe, I want to thank you again for being a guest on Paul Ponders. And again, congratulations on your induction into the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame, Massachusetts chapter. And for anyone who wants to log in to the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame website or Facebook page, they could definitely go to, I believe it is NIASH-Boston.org, and you'll be able to just read about what a wonderful ceremony it was with Joe DiSarcina as one of the honorees. And also on that day, Coach Al Finaro, the head football coach for Zavarian Brothers High School, was honored. And there was a special award for Coach John DiBiazzo, former Everett High football coach and football coach at Catholic Memorial. But Joe DiSarcina, this has just been a wonderful podcast. I really appreciate you being on. And again, you nailed it with perseverance, you nailed it with the hard work, and you nailed it with accountability. And really, it's been a pleasure having you on. It's a pleasure to know you, call you a friend. And do you have any final words and thoughts for our listeners in Paul Ponders land?
No, the only thing I could say is that to express how proud and honored I am to be now in the National Italian American Athletic Massachusetts Chapter Hall of Fame. It is something I will always remember, and it's a special part of my life.
Well, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. You're welcome. Thank you. And that's 5 Halls of Fame. And I think you may be tying Dave Caiazzo for Halls of Fame. I don't know. We'll have to check that out.
We have a battle going.
There you go. Well, Joe, again, thanks for being on. And again, congratulations on your honor.
Thank you.
#Indeed. I trust that you have enjoyed #Paul Ponders. Again, my name is Paul Solano of PS&All Marketing Group, and I may be reached via email at paul@paulponders.com to do some more pondering. Many thanks to my longtime collaborative friend and associate, Chalonzo Amos of Pod Pro Entertainment, in bringing you our fun, exciting, and informative podcasts. You rock, Techie Chalonzo. With PS&All Marketing Group, I created a side gig to connect you and get things done. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me at paul@paulponders.com with any questions. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Paul Ponders. Follow us on Twitter at Paul Ponders Pod. Follow us on Instagram at Paul Ponders Podcast. Thank you again for listening to #Paul Ponders, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our website, paulponders.com, or wherever you stream your podcasts. Subscribe, stream, rate, and review our shows. Your ratings and reviews help our show reach new audiences. Produced by Pod Pro Entertainment, #Paul Ponders lives within a network of podcasts located at podproentertainment.com. #the new radio. Until we meet again, my friend, stay well. #Indeed.